the arcade lobby in Hypixel, a place where you can settle down and play some casual minigames for fun. The diverse roster of minigames featured include all sorts of genres, ranging from teamwork games to PvP games to artistic games. Having been around for years, the arcade lobby in the largest server in Minecraft has seen a lot of new additions and changes. Every once in a while, the server staff like to release limited time games. Today, we'll be talking about one such arcade minigame, Hypixel Sports, aka Party Games 4. Of all the Hypixel games ever released, this appears to be the most forgotten and the least talked about. As a matter of fact, besides the video you're currently watching, the most popular video about the game has just over 500 views. What was this game, and why is it that not many people know about it? Today, we'll be answering those questions and more in the rise and fall of Hypixel Sports. Because most people haven't even heard of this game, it would be best to start off by explaining exactly how it worked. Hypixel Sports was essentially an Olympics-themed party games with only 3 minigames: sprint, hurdles, and swimming. The top 3 players of each minigame would earn stars. The winner is a person with the most stars at the end of the game. Unlike the normal party games, there were only up to 6 players per game. Each game had the same movement mechanics. To move around, you would have to alternate between right and left clicks. You could also jump. Your character was an armor stand that you controlled. Your actual player could fly around to view the character from different angles. The sprint minigame was just a basic race. The hurdle minigame added hurdles that you have to jump over. The swimming minigame was just a simple race, but with water. The game could be accessed through the Party Games menu or using the command /play_arcade_Hypixel_sports. In the Party Games menu, the game was distinguished with the number 4. This is the main reason the game is also sometimes called Party Games 4. The other reason being how it uses the same star score system. In the end, the top 3 players with the most stars were displayed, and that's the entire game. It was simple and kinda buggy. A lot of people in their first time playing found the controls difficult to understand. Some people got stuck in fences. Other people kept running into the walls. Actually, the whole running into walls thing was pretty common. That was actually the aesthetic the game developers were going for. Fortunately, because of the game's simplicity, once you got the hang of it, it was a pretty easy game. With this in mind, you might be wondering how long it took to be created. Of all the games ever released or tested on the server, Hypixel Sports had the most transparent development process. Unlike other games, the day-to-day details of the development process have been publicly released. It all began on November 13th, 2018, when the first gray map was built. 2 days later, on November 15th, the stadium map began to take shape. The game was first tested on the following day with the first completed team test. The hurdle minigame was finished on November 17th. November 18th was a bug-fixing day, where the biggest and most notable bugs were dealt with. The day after that, Party Games 4 was added into the Party Games lobby framework. Some visuals were added on November 24th. Finally, on November 26th, the game's release was announced. This means that it took a total of 2 weeks to start and finish the game. Hypixel Sports' release was announced in a forum post on November 26, 2018. Unlike other games, however, this was not a full-blown announcement. This thread was simply just a forum post posted to the Arcade Games forum. In this thread, then admin Codename B explains, "Hey there, last week, some of the team have been working on some fun projects for what we've called the Hypixel Jam. Goes best on buttered toast. I really enjoy clicking, so I want to make a game that rewarded clicking. You can find Hypixel Sports under the Party Games NPC in the arcade lobby." After that, Codename B went on to give official descriptions of the 3 minigames and their controls. Sprint, alternate left and right clicks with the correct timing to be the first across the finish line. Hurdles, alternate left and right clicks with the correct timing to be the first against the finish line. Timing your clicks so that the left and right clicks move together at the same time will let you jump over the hurdles. Swim, left and right click to start. After that, alternate left and right clicks to swim to the finish line, and be careful not to jump out of the water. Even from the official descriptions, it's pretty clear that all 3 games in Hypixel Sports were essentially the same game, with very slight differences. Finally, the forum post explains the game's objective. This game is designed to be a bit frustrating and challenging in the style of old Flash games that some of us used to play on the school library computers. Co-op anyone? We've had some fun making this. It won't necessarily be on the network forever, so please enjoy it. From the get-go, the game was planned to be removed eventually. There were never any plans to keep it on the server forever. Still, it was a game for people to enjoy in the moment. The game was meant to be taken as a joke. The game was most popular within its first few days. While I can't find any exact numbers, a video made shortly after the game's release showed that it had about 16 players during late, non-peak hours of the Hypixel day. While this wasn't exactly impressive by Hypixel standards, you have to remember that it wasn't even that widely announced. A lot of longtime Hypixel players never even heard of the game. The only people who knew about the game's release were people with close ties to the arcade community and those who happened to stumble upon it, whether it be through selecting a party games or through a chat notification of a new game starting. Of all the games ever released on the Hypixel network, Hypixel Sports had by far the least popular release. It was a game that you had to be in the know to know. Considering the game's simplicity, it was clear that the admins didn't want to widely publicize whatever you can even call the game. It was made simply for fun. It was a game made to exist. While the game did have a very small rise, at least during this point in time, it was still more popular than some other games on the server, such as Sky Clash. The staff on Hypixel never officially mentioned Hypixel Sports for months. It just faded into the background as another arcade game that sort of just existed for people to play. Of course, there were still some games of it that were played, but no one really cared. If you consider it a game that was dead from the get-go, then now it was really dead. After the first few weeks, people stopped talking about it. Eventually, on February 5th, 2019, a forum post was made about all the planned updates for the arcade lobby. Notably, in the party game section of the thread, one of the objectives was to remove the temporary Hypixel Sports mode. Everyone who knew about the game knew that the end would eventually come, but it was this forum post that signaled the end was near. Finally, in an announcement made on March 1st, 2019, the removal for Hypixel Sports was announced. This happened alongside the move to merge all 3 regular party games. With regards to Hypixel Sports, here's what was said. We have removed the temporary Hypixel Sports mode. It is a fun project we want to share with the community to meme around with. But as mentioned before, it was planned to be removed at some point, as it doesn't fit into our standard of games. For more info about Hypixel Sports, you can check out the news post from November, and that was the link to the game's announcement thread in the Arcade Games forum. Ironically, this was the first time Hypixel Sports was ever mentioned in a big official announcement. Hypixel Sports, the meme arcade game. It was a game made in good fun, while almost completely forgotten today. Just like other games on the largest server in Minecraft, it was designed to give people a lot of good and memorable experiences. If you played with friends, it was difficult not to laugh at least a little. For crying out loud, it was a game that was designed to be made fun of. Party Games 4, the QWOP of Minecraft. One of the sad realities of the game is that it was just not well documented. There's no getting around that. Search Hypixel Sports on YouTube and you'll barely find any results. No big YouTubers have ever played it in a video. If you search for the exact phrase Hypixel Sports on Google, you'll only get 3 pages of results. Hopefully, this journey of a video has taught you something about this game that almost no one remembers. Whether or not you had the opportunity to actually play this game, the game was definitely something. Here's to Hypixel Sports, the lost arcade game. So what do you think? Did you ever get to play this game? If not, does it sound interesting? Let me know in the comments. Anyways, that's it for this video. If you'd like to join the Penguin Army and stay tuned for more documentaries like this, be sure to subscribe. If you hated it, don't forget to leave a dislike. Every video I give a shout out, and the shout out for today goes to the one and only Josiah Yap. For a chance at a shout out, all you have to do is comment on this video. You can say anything, and you don't even have to subscribe. I will choose a random comment and put it in my next video. I also have to give a big thanks to Professor Pigos for telling me about this game. Even though I've been a consistent Hypixel player since 2013, I never even heard of it. To be fair, it was the busiest time in my life, but I'm just surprised there weren't any huge announcements or anything. If I knew it existed, I would have played it. I never got the chance, but that's just life sometimes. Once again, thank you. I have a Discord, you should go join. There's a lot of cool stuff, and you can also talk in the chat and stuff like that. I also have a second channel where I tell storytime videos. I haven't been super active on there as of recent, mostly because I've been focusing on my main channel, but I will upload something there soon. Links to both my Discord and my second channel are in the description. If you made it this far into the video, can we get an F in the comments? This was one of the most important games in all of Hypixel history. Without it, we would have never gotten games like Bed Wars and all the other arcade games, never mind the fact that Hypixel Sports is made after. It was just super important and influential. Jokes aside, you should go check out my other videos for a documentary about another removed Hypixel game, Sky Clash aka Sky Wars 2. You should click on the video to the left. You can also click on the video to the right for a different video about what many have called Hypixel Judgment Day. Over 5,000 people were banned. Anyways, that's it, see ya, peace.